Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Owoh's Corner, my own little corner of art. And in today's stream, I'm going to be continuing with this animation I've been working on. As you can see, not much change happened. I've sort of been finding myself only streaming, well, only doing my art on my stream days, and that's really bad. And so I do apologize for that. I do also want to say that I'm sorry for having the stream late today. My mother wasn't feeling well, and so I was doing some chores around the house to help her out, just so she has less to do. I'm actually going back over and I'm trying to clean up some of this because I sort of just drew this in haste. But with this animation, I definitely want to take my time because I just want to say right now, like, Tag is not doing very well. Like, at least from what my appearance is, well, from what my view is, because I've been trying to stay as up to date as possible. I've just been, I'm gonna just be honest, like, I've been going through a lot of personal spiritual things, and I've been trying to go more on my spiritual and godly grind. Like, I do think that that's probably why I haven't been drawing or animating as much, is that's probably God trying to tell me, like, focus on me for right now, focus on your connection with God. And so that's why I haven't really been feeling like animating. So I sort of have to balance and choose what I do and don't do, and sort of choose what I give up or what I choose to go after. I mean, because I'm going to be honest, it is kind of hard to. It is kind of hard to keep going and to keep animating when you're seeing all this stuff going on. Let's see this real quick. Now, when it comes to animation, what you want to do is, especially when it comes to trying to make more seamless animation, you want to more so rely on gestures. Like, usually for your first frame, you do want to have this big establishing frame or pose, but after that, when it comes to the more fluid frames or fluid motions, that's when you want to rely more on gestures, which are going to be these quick little, maybe even stickman or just blocked out pieces that more so show the energy of what's being expressed. So that's what I'm going to be doing in just a moment. Now, the entire motion is actually going to be at least 2 seconds long, but because of the nature of how I animate, I do want to give it that extra second just in case there needs to be more wiggle room with the motion. So let's see. This is 24 frames per second, so at, I want to say 13 frames. Oop. I'm going to insert a blank frame right here. And I am going to use my onion skin. So what we're going to do Oh, hello, VJ. Welcome to Owoh's Corner, my own little corner of art. How are you doing? I'm just listening to some lo-fi music and working on this animation, so I'm pretty sure I can't, it's not copyright free, so I can't share it, but I do want to get more into just having something to listen to for myself while I'm animating. So, real quick, we are on scene number 4 where he is looking around. And so that's what I'm working on right now. Yes, it has been a minute since I've seen your portfolio, but you do have some really good stuff. Just need to work on. I would say your major thing is you need to work more with storyboards as well as what's the proper word? Making the animation more fluid. Like probably adding some more frames or perhaps even implementing some time charts. That's your big thing. Mm. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I try to connect with as many people as possible, even if no business actually happens. It's still good to get your name out there. And not only that, but it's also good for the future because while someone may not need you right now, you don't know what somebody's future situation is that may give them the resources or may give them the means necessary to actually bring you on board. So, like, even if I forgot to turn my phone's ringer down. Excuse me for that. But I do think that the world is changing, like, definitely. Especially with how Hollywood is going right now. Like, being completely honest, Hollywood is falling. Like, there's a bunch of people who are at P. Diddy's parties, and then there's so much information coming out, and the animation strike isn't really going as well planned as people want it to. So it's like eventually, given some more time, like honestly, probably past New Year's, we're probably going to be seeing more independent companies and independent creators sort of doing their own thing. I also heard that people are switching from like actual celebrities, like actual Hollywood celebrities, to more so influencers and streamers. So, I mean, that's a plus. Like anything to. Yeah, Diddy is everywhere right now. I mean, like we even have some people in the continent of Africa talking about P Diddy. Like there was rumors that Burna Boy, who was like this, I think he's either not a Nigerian or maybe Ghanaian Afrobeat singer. He was at one of P Diddy's parties, and like that's its whole thing, where like the folks on the continent are our brothers and sisters and cousins on the continent. They're trying to defend um Burner Boy, but like I was never really into rap. My thing is more so like I like the oldies. Like give me some Urban Mystic, Give me some Jackson 5 and I'm good. I was never really much of a rap person. And that's probably why I just like video game OSTs so much is because they have a lot of that 90s Afro singer in them where it's like their songs have a message or like there's emotion behind them. And that helps because what a lot of more industry artists do is they more so rely on music videos or visuals, and then like they may have like some sort of like subliminal message in their music, whereas if you like play a video game or something, like you're going to get a lot of emotional songs. Like I found that Emmy Evans, she is one of my most favorite artists because she doesn't even use the English language. Like she made up her own mishmash language called chaos language, and it's definitely a song choice that more so relies on feelings and emotion. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Like personally, I know this sounds like a downer statement, but like to an extent, I kind of think we're in the end times. Like let's be really real about it. Let's be honest about it. Like there's so much stuff going out. Like this person is doing stuff with that person, and then there's stuff about what was her name? Cat is her name like Cat Porter or something? Like her death, and there's just so much drama going on right now. It's like a cascading effect, and then you have the actual like real world disasters that are going on. Like there are fires, there are floods going on. There's the migrant crisis, there's the job crisis. Like there's the American government giving benefits to migrants and not helping the local people. Like we still got a homelessness problem with our veterans. It's like everything is everything is going down the hill if I'm being completely honest. Like now is the time to get right with your faith. And that's really all I can say is like for me that's Christianity, but like get right with your faith and do what you can cuz it is not going to get easier. But yeah, gaming OSTs are actually really good. I'm actually about to restart Cyberpunk Red. Like, I'm still gonna play a Netrunner, but I'll probably try to play it up some more because the build I chose for a Netrunner was not that good. Now, I will say Cyberpunk has a really good OST. Like, if I could rate them, I would say any Yoko Taro game, they're gonna have a really good OST. Next is, hmm, I would say next is gonna be Cyberpunk 2077 because they mainly draw from like the 80s and 90s, like that very much neo future punk era to begin with. So any music or song they make from there is gonna be good because that was like the, I would say that, like, yeah, the 80s and 90s, like that R&B era is definitely the golden age of music. And then afterwards, I would say Final Fantasy 14. Their OST is pretty good, but they blend their OST with the animation. And it's like some of the background music and some of the boss music can be hit or miss, which is why they're not really higher on my list. But there is a lot of artistry that goes into song design and music design. And I definitely would like to incorporate that into my show because I do want each character to have their own sort of like theme song or instrumental that accompanies them. Actually needs to be a bit bigger. Now for this, what I want to do is, I don't know why, but the head is off. Let me actually look at some references real quick. This is not going how I want it to go. Okay, that's what I'm missing. Because, like, the issue, yes, I'm still working on the same project. Oh, hello, Yuzi. Welcome to Owoh's Corner. Still working on the same project. It's meant to be a feature length. Well, not feature length, but it's meant to be a feature animation. The entire footage is going to be at least about, I want to say, a minute and 25 seconds long. So this is like a lot of work. It's not gonna be done in like a week's time. So yeah, I'm taking my time with it. I want to make sure that it comes out real good. And besides, I'm just a one man crew, so it's not like I have help. Thank you. I'm taking my time with it. Oh, that's real good. When did you start working on your Elden Ring animation? And yes, VJ, this is a personal project. This is going to be a part of my Seven States pilot. I decided to take a scene from my pilot that I had written up in my script. I had like a whole script for how the pilot's gonna go. And so I took a scene from that script and now I'm just animating it. Sort of as a test for myself and to sort of give people a glimpse of what the show is going to be about and sort of a big sort of establishing. You started 2 days ago. You must have been working really, really hard. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really been working that much on my animation. I've just been, I'm gonna be honest, like I've been going through some spiritual stuff, so that sort of has stunted my art. And so now it's like, to an extent, it feels like God is telling me to slow down at least a little bit with my animation. Because, like, I haven't really been making much progress with anything. But I still want to do something. I can't wait to see it. You will link it to me, or you'll probably submit like not submit, but like post a community post. Make sure you link me when you finish your animation because I want to see it. I sort of just slowed down. Sometimes when I hyper focus, I just only focus on my animation and I sort of like tune out everything else. So I'm sorry about that. Like, I'm not really that much of a talkative person. Like, despite me having a stream, there's really not a lot for me to talk about except for like random things that come into my head. That's why I kind of wait for folks to come into my stream so then I can talk about stuff. Unless it's a particular moment or time where there's just something I want to vent about. So, I mean, I hope I'm not boring you guys. Because, like, that's not my intention at all. My intention is to work on my animation and then find some nice topics to talk about. But, like, because sometimes it's hard out here. Like, I'm just going to be honest. Like, it's really hard, especially right now with finding a job. I mean, thank God I did find a job, but my first day of work is October 16th. And so I'm still technically jobless. That's why I'm trying to do some freelance work, but no one is really looking for freelance work at this time. And even though there's like a lot of black people who are trying to go into making their own business, it's still difficult because, you know, I get them in my DMs and I say, like, hey, I do XYZ, I can help you with this. And then they'll ghost or then they'll change their mind. So then it's like, okay, now what do I do? Because, like, I'm gonna just be honest, like, I do it all. Like, I design logos, business cards, I edit videos, like, clean up audio. I'm not really into the whole music design yet. Exactly, we are bored until we play the frames. Like that's the big thing because you have to set up your scene first. You have to set up your keyframes. And then after you do that, that's when like the real magic begins of, you know, cleaning up and going line by line. Like right now, I'm in my rough in betweening phase, or like not my rough in betweening phase. I'm in my like tie down phase where I'm taking everything from my storyboard and I'm tying it down and I'm putting it on the frame. And so then after I finish doing that, then I have to in between. And then in betweening is its whole thing where you have a rough in betweening where you're just doing the basic motion, and then you have smooth in betweening. That's when you do things like if your fabric is moving or if your hair is moving or if there's like a slight eye twitch. And that's also when you're adding more details like hair, eyes, eye shape, hand shape, trying to tie down like splits in the character design, like say clothing, extra pieces of clothing, so on and so forth. And that also ties into your like your tie down and then your coloring. Like it's a very interlaced, multi-step process. And so what I might end up needing to do is I might actually have to go back through this and then I'm gonna have to start like adding more details to my storyboard because this was just the basic tie down of my like this was just a basic tie down of my storyboard. I didn't really go in depth and add like physical features or stuff like that. Like I'm gonna have to make a timing chart for this and sort of figure out how I want it to look. I mean, I guess while I'm here, this is a basic enough frame already. So I guess I could play this and see how I want to space it and time it out. So let's see here. And actually, yeah, I do think I wanted to linger on this frame for a while. Like, I'll probably keep these on thirds to sort of linger, and then I will animate the motion. That'd actually be a really good idea. And then after this frame, I can probably have him relax a little bit, or at least sort of ease into this pose, or like because this is already a tight enough pose as it is, so you can probably just ease into it or lean back just a little bit. But that's more so gonna be a, I want to say, a smooth in betweening stage of animation. Cause like there's a lot, like there's timing charts, there's timing charts you have to do. There's a lot of math you have to do, and I mean I'm happy about it. Like, oh hello Asara, how are you? How have you been? I know you wanted to be brought on board for my project, and I do have plans to bring more people on board. Like, the major issue that's stunting me is just capital. Like, I don't have enough proof of concept material, and my animation skills are not there yet before I can actually bring on more people. So I've still been doing things fairly independently. But it is good to see you again. I'm very happy to see you. I'm very excited to see you. Have you been working on any of your personal projects or any of your personal things? I mean, because I'd love to see your progress. You know, I forgot to put this in full screen mode. That explains a lot. That's really good. I'm glad. Stylization is a really big thing because each artist or animator has to find how they do things and how they want to do things, how they want to project their art onto the world. And so stylization is that way of making your animation easier. I mean, I still need to work on my stylization because I'm trying to go for a more humanoid proportioned animation. Like I'm trying to go more so like I want to say Teen Titans or even Ruby with my style, with my animation style, which is very like it's very overt humanoid stylization. My one issue is I have difficulty. I'd say my difficulty lies in keeping my sizing and proportions consistent, as well as working on my foreshortening and allowing my foreshortening to remain mm, what's the word? Allowing my foreshortening to still be sized properly or proportioned properly. So let's see, when do I want it to reach its halfway mark? So I would say that for this particular piece, the actual hmm, like the actual body should move fast, whereas the hands should be fairly slow by comparison. So I would say by frame 6, that's where I want my midpoint to be. Like that's for the body. And you see, that's definitely what I need to do is I need to do a lot more anatomy studies. I also want to work on my muscles because my muscles are terrible. And what's worse is I do have characters who are designed to be muscular. Like I think I have at least like two of the main characters are meant to be more on the muscular side, whereas others are more so meant to be athletic, but still I just need to work on my muscles. Like that's a really big thing. Thank you, Osaro for mentioning that. Honestly, I got so many amazing people who stop by and like they give me advice and they give me cool tips. Like you guys are awesome. I'm so thankful. Like I'm not where I want to be, but I'm still very much thankful because I've been blessed with amazing people who still desire to help me or give me tips or give me like things that I haven't worked on or thought of before. Th- Thank you. Like, thank you for saying that, Osaro, because sometimes I really do like that's the thing is sometimes you really just need that affirmation from people of like, you're good or you're doing great. Now, obviously, as an artist, I'm also very much on constructive criticism, and that's actually an issue with people in the industry is that there's some people who don't even like constructive criticism. Me, like, tell me my art looks like shit. But like, no. Osaro, thank you for that reassurance because for quite a while, like I've just like there have just been moments and times where I've been on my knees and I've been praying and I've been like, God, why am I not there yet? Like, God, why have I not started my studio yet? Or why haven't I gone into this place or that place? And like I know I'm not perfect and no one is perfect. And I've been like getting advice like, oh, you should get on social media, you should have a strong portfolio, so on and so forth. Well, like I, my pieces are not the best, but I definitely do consider the fact that I do have quite a few strong pieces as well as just pieces overall that show my growth and development. So I do feel like at least some of my pieces probably could have gotten me into an industry position, but exactly, yeah, every artist started as a bad artist. But like a part of me does believe that the fact that I haven't gotten a job in the industry yet is probably God's doing. Like I do feel like I've always tried to be a spiritual person. I've always read my Bible. I've always studied and meditated on the word. Like there's literally a rock in my backyard, like this really big rock that like I'll just go outside and like I'll sit on it or I'll kneel in front of it and like I'll just pray. And I'll just like sit outside sometimes and I'll just pray or talk to God and then it's like over time I sort of learned and discovered for myself that, I think God was protecting me. I truly believe that the Most High God of Heaven, He has been protecting me. He's kept me from the industry because, like, His foresight is far greater than mine. Like, you have so much stuff coming out about the industry now. Like, you have, like, there's just a lot of stuff coming out. Like, a lot of stuff. Like parties, blackmail, gatekeeping, like executives doing things. And it's like, you know what, God? I'm upset that you didn't let me move to Hollywood and work in the industry. But now, in hindsight, now that all this drama and all this stuff is going out, like, I understand why you didn't let me do it. I understand why you kept me from that for a time. Because, like, there was a moment in time where I was praying and I'm like, God, if it's not meant to be, then don't let it be. Or, God, if there's some danger or some uncertainty that's going on, then despite my better judgment, keep me from it. And exactly, God wants me to depend on Him, not the industry. Because there's actually a British actress. I'm forgetting her name in the moment, but she played like Shuri from Black Panther. And she was actually on a podcast and she was talking about how, she was going back to God and God told her not to take on any more roles and to spend time with Him. And that's like very powerful. Like, there are moments and times where God will act or God will tell you to do things that you were never expecting. Or like He will act and push things in ways in which you're like, why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? But then like down the line, you learn and you realize like, yeah, this is like very dangerous. Or, yeah, like, you shouldn't have been doing that. Focus on God first, and then everything else will go to catch up. Because, like, it's really that submission and that patience. Like, I'm good on submitting. It's just the patience thing that is what gets me in trouble, because it's not that I'm impatient, it's that I hate waiting for too long, but I do know that God is going to make me wait. Like, God is definitely going to make me wait on something. So I just have to be, I just have to be patient. I just have to accept things. And sometimes I don't want to accept things. Sometimes I don't want to, but I have to. But it's all good, because in the end, I do know that I'm gonna have something. It may not be perfectly what I envisioned, but I do know that in my heart of hearts, in my soul of souls, something good is gonna come. And I just have to have that patience. And so now it's like I'm in a place and I'm in a area where I'm still not where I want to be, and I'm still concerned, but I still have to submit to God, because, okay, like, here's something I need to tell you guys about myself, but, like, I used to have a job, I used to work in retail. I know, college graduate working in retail. Those of you who have watched my channel for a while, you may know this, but I used to work in retail. I used to work at Walmart, and it was really good. Like, I worked there for about a year and a half, almost 2 years. And so I was dealing with some very difficult individuals at my job. Like, I was dealing with mainly management. Like, they kept harassing me, they kept doing stuff to me, and they threatened to fire me multiple times. They reported me. Like, I was just trying to, like, there was this whole spiel. Like, one supervisor, he was like, "Oh, this is your department, take charge, do XYZ." Then another supervisor comes in, and, like, he takes some papers I was working on and he tears them in front of me, and he's like, "Oh, if I catch you doing this again, I'm gonna fire you. Like, you need to get with the closing supervisor." And it was just harassment on top of harassment. And then, like, I was freaking scared out of my mind that entire shift, so I really didn't do anything. And so then, like, the supervisor that told me to take ownership, like, he's saying, like, "Oh, you didn't finish this, you didn't finish that," and then he writes me up. And so then I'm like, you know what, I can't deal with this, like, let me just quit. So that's why I quit my retail position. And it's like, I feel better, because I do wholeheartedly in my soul believe that God called me to quit. Like, I was feeling too depressed. I was getting back into some of my old habits. Like, it was just really bad, and I kept praying and I kept praying. I'm like, God, get me out of here. God, get me out of here. So like that was that moment for me to quit, and so I left. I didn't look back, and I did eventually, and then that's when I got my job with the state, and now I work with one of the museums downtown, and my first actual clock in day is October 16th. So I do still have some time before I get paid, and that's like a really bad thing because I kind of need money now because even though I am in a good position where I still live with my mom, and again, I'm a very biblically minded person. Like Jacob had all 12 of his sons live with him, and some of them were even married at the time, and they were like in their 20s and 30s and 40s. So there's nothing wrong with being full grown and living with family. Like my whole thing is, while I was still working in retail, thank you, Osaro. But like while I was still working in retail, like I would give my mom money, or like I would pick up extra bills here and there and I'd help her. Like literally every time I got paid, I would say, "Hey mom, take $120 out," or "Hey mom, take $150." Like, I would just give my mom money because I wanted to help her out. I wanted to do things for her, so on and so forth. And like since losing my job, it's like, now I'm in that, I feel like a bum again, and I don't want to feel like a bum. Like I want to help out. I want to do things. I want my parents I want my parents to be proud of me, and I want my parents to be happy. Like, because heaven forbid, but like I want to find a nice, stable, and consistent job before either of my parents pass away. Like that's the big thing, that's the major thing, is I want my parents to know that I'm good, that I'm well off before they leave this earth. And so literally everything I've done, everything I've attempted to do, like I do have some money in the stock markets. I do have a little bit of money saved up, but for the most part, it's all about making sure my parents' final rest can be an easy one. And people, because people don't really realize, or people don't really think about, you know, what's gonna happen. Like, and that's really the, I guess like the thing about me is, uh, this is gonna be sad. This is gonna be sad to say, but like I kind of don't care about myself. Like that's a bit extreme. Like I'm not saying I'm self-hating or anything, but I love my parents and I love my family a lot. And even though I have my own dreams and aspirations, like making my own show, like one day making my own animation studio, and just making more opportunities for people, and even trying to help black people en masse, like at its core, my whole thing is I want my parents to rest easy, and I want my mom and dad to not worry about me. So literally the core and the crux of everything I've ever done has been that long-term goal of, my mom can sit down and say, "Hey, I can rest easy. My son has his own business." My father can say, "Hey, I can rest easy. I don't have to do anything. My son, he's in good hands." That is what I look for, and that is what I aspire to, is to just, even if they don't physically say it, just to hear it in their voice, or just to hear it, or just to see it in their eyes and in their face, of that satisfaction of them seeing me be secure and be ready for the future. Because in the end, like, you can't control when your time comes. Like, you can't control when God takes you away from this world. You don't control when that happens. You don't control anything. All you can do is pray and trust. And so, like, The two big things that I prayed in my life is, first of all, God, please don't take me from my parents before their time. Like, don't let me die before my parents, because like my mom, she's just been through so much. Like my my uncle died in 2018, and then that was when our family just shut down when my uncle died. And then after that, when my grandmother died, because my mom gave up so much to take care of my grandmother. Like, my mom had her own house, but she had to move out of her house and go into my grandmother's apartment in order to take care of my grandmother. Like, she was still making payments on her house to take care of my grandmother. So then when COVID hit, and my mom said, "Hey, you don't have to move in with grandma and me. You can go home." And I said, "No, mom, I'm going to move in with you and grandma. Like, I'm going to help you take care of her." And like, we took care of my grandmother up until she passed away. And when my grandmother passed away, it was like that was all my mother had, to an extent. Like of course she had me, and of course she had me and my school life and me going to college and getting my bachelor's degree. But really, it was like all my other aunts and uncles, they didn't really do anything for my grandmother. It was really just me and my mom taking care of her up until her dying day, to the point where even at her funeral, it was like everyone was crying, but me, I couldn't cry. And my mom, she cried a little, but she didn't really cry that much, because like, we literally gave up everything to take care of my grandmother. So it's like, I want to stay alive long enough to the point where, my mom doesn't have to go through another death. She doesn't have to go through another hardship. She doesn't have to experience that loss, that unjust loss of losing someone before you. And so then, on top of that, that's why I've been trying to get, a good job, or start my own business, or pretty much do anything with my skills in animation and with my skills in art and graphic design, so on and so forth, is because I don't want my mom to worry. I don't want my mom to have to continue to support me. Like, yeah, she doesn't mind, but I personally feel like a freeloader when I'm not in work. So that's why I mow the lawn, I clean my mom's car, like, I do a bunch of stuff around the house to at least make up for it somewhat. And I did still do those things when I was working, but now I'm trying to find a job, find a good consistent job, and then still take care of my mother on top of that. But like, I can say, like, everything I've done has been for my mom. Everything I've done has been for my parents. And it really took me going through hardship and growing closer to God to almost get out of that American dream mindset. Like, the American dream is so toxic. And BJ, that's going to take a lot of healing for you. Like, I think now, where you're at right now is, if you can move back in with your parents, do that. Like, it's always good to be with family and take care of family. Like, that does help you feel better. And being amongst family is definitely a grounding experience. Like, it keeps you grounded, it keeps you steady. If you don't want to move back in with your family, that's perfectly fine. Then, call them, or go make the effort to visit them once in a while, or like maybe have dinner with them. Who knows? Like, do something with your family, because it's really that family, community in general, but definitely family is what keeps you grounded. And I just want to say that that's the very toxic thing about the American dream, because the American dream tells you move out at the age of 18, find a high paying job or a decent livable paying job, find a wife, have 2.3 kids and a dog or a cat, live in the suburbs, and then like that's it. It's just you, five, six people in that house. When in reality, if you go to a place like South America or Africa or the Middle East or even Asia, China, Japan, like you have multi generational living. You have folks living with their parents, living with their aunts and uncles, some people even living multi generationally and like living with their cousins, even. So it's like the American dream, while it's good on paper, it's not something that is realistic. And and that's fine. Like your parents want you to settle. Your parents want you to, take up roots wherever you're at. Like I'm assuming you're in America. If you're not, please correct me. Cuz I think you mentioned yeah. I'm not going to say it. But I'm not going to say where you mentioned cuz I don't want to make the wrong impression. I think you said something about India, maybe. Excuse me if I'm wrong. Of course, excuse me if I'm wrong. Like, I'm not trying to be insensitive or anything. But, like, if your parents want you to set up roots or settle where you're at, then, like, Canada. Like, yeah, your parents want you to settle in Canada, then do what your parents ask you to do. Do what your parents request of you to do. Yeah, Canada, you're in Canada right now, but you're an international student from India. That's good. That's perfectly fine. Follow your parents. Whatever your parents tell you to do, and this is a very biblical thing, like in the Bible, it constantly talks about like listening to your parents and following your parents' wishes. And like there are certain caveats with that, like I go back to Jacob, but Jacob's mother told him to go to the land of Canaan and now not go to the land of Canaan, but like go live with your uncle Laban and find a wife. He found two. And then it was after some time with his uncle, with Laban, that he then moved back to be with his parents. And so, your parents are asking you to settle, then do what they ask you to do. Like, do that to make them happy, to help them come to peace. And then who knows, perhaps in a few years, maybe you can bring them to Canada to be with you, or maybe you'll have the means to go back to India and maybe you can set up something in your home nation, in your hometown so that you can be with your family. There is nothing wrong with that because what I've learned is that really nothing is permanent. Like nothing is permanent, and that's not to say that is a bad thing that nothing is permanent, but the pain you're feeling right now, if you seek the right guidance, if you seek the right meditation, and if you follow through, not only will you become a stronger person, but there will be untold treasures waiting for you. Those treasures may not be physical, there may not be gold or diamonds, but at the end of all of this, you will find closure, you will find acceptance, and you will be right where you need to be. Because overall, I think that this is just a tough season for everyone, especially right now. Like, there's a lot of hardship going on, which is why you just have to have faith and you just have to keep going. Dang, I've been streaming for a while now, and I haven't even been taking account of the time. Like, how long have I been streaming? An hour, 24 minutes? That's pretty good. That's pretty decent. Nothing wrong with that. I don't know why. It felt like I was streaming for like 2 hours right now because I've just been talking. Like, I've just been talking and giving what life advice I can. But, that's what we do here at Owo's Corner. We just sit and we talk and we go through whatever we're going through and we try our best to help people. But I do think that sometimes what people really need is just a break. And that's probably why I haven't been animating as much as I have been because, again, it's God trying to step in and say, hey, you need a break. Hey, you need to take a chill pill for a second. Like, you're going to hurt yourself. I mean, because I do need to read my Bible more. Like, I had a challenge to read the Bible from cover to cover, and I haven't opened it in a hot minute, so I do want to go back to that. Probably when I finish this stream, like I'll probably go on for at least mm, another 40 minutes. Like I'll probably make this stream a nice, good 2 hours long. And then I'm gonna like read my Bible while I finish up some chores I said I would do for my mom. But like yeah, like there's just the world is just going through so much right now. Like what else can be said other than there's just a lot of hardship, a lot of doubt, a lot of struggle, like whether to a greater degree or lesser degree, everyone is going through something right now. I mean, who knows? Maybe we're in the time of tribulation. Like maybe tribulation has already started. Like just earlier, there were like two rainstorms in my town right now that the news didn't even cover yet. And we're supposed to have a hurricane that's coming later in the week. So it's like, but maybe we're in tribulation. But like, all you can do is just hold on to those who are close to you right now in this time. And like, pray, seek guidance, do what you can do, prepare even if you can prepare. Because I don't know why, but in my spirit, it just feels like things might get a bit harder. Because, like, there are so many people saying, like, oh, I don't know what to do, and everything's so hard, and I can't make ends meet. And, like, things are moving. Like, what else? I don't know what else to say other than things are moving, things are happening. So, pray, seek guidance, see what can be done. That's what I'm doing right now. Like, I'm not trying to move cross country anymore because from the looks of it, I've been on Twitter, and when it comes to the tag situation, the animation guild situation, like, I hate to say it, but I think the corporations are gonna win when it comes to animation. Like, let's just be really honest. Let's be really clear. Like, you guys are animators as well. The big corporations, like the Hollywoods, they are moving to use AI for their animation. Like, there's no changing it. There's no trying to get above or beyond it. Like, they want to use AI. They want to use artificial intelligence. And literally just earlier, the Animation Guild's Twitter, they posted something about how there's going to be a shift from staff work to freelance, and that's going to create job insecurity. And I'm like, okay, if there's going to be a shift from staff to freelance, then that's the perfect moment and that's the perfect time to decentralize, to make your own studios. And I've been harping and I've been trying to say, like, hey, make your own studios, make your own studios. And I mean, at this point, it's like they're still trying to keep animation in house, even though the industry is going to a freelance schematic or a AI schematic. So I'm like, you may just have to go with the tides. Like, you can't keep your status. Like, God is knocking it down right now. Like, say what you want, like, God is knocking everything down in Hollywood right now. You got the P. Diddy scandals, you have fires, you have floods, you have the migrant crisis, job crisis. Like, say what you want, but literally, only God is capable of doing all this stuff. There is not enough random chance or karma that can be out there, like, for everything to come to a head in the course of like a year and a half to 2 years, where everything in Hollywood is being torn down, and now actors can't find work, and it's hard to be a new actor because you have the actors guilds that are only, and you have the actors and writers who are only choosing like the top 10% in order to get work. And then you got the animation guild that's going through the same thing. It's like, this is God. Say what you want, but this is God right here. Like, you got to move with the times. So I'm gonna pray for folks. I'm gonna pray for people. Well, I'm gonna pray for the industry. Let me be really specific. I'm gonna pray for the industry because there are certainly some individuals who are very difficult, or they try to keep up that elitist mindset and mentality that just isn't working. Like, let's just be really honest. Like, there are some industry folks who are trying to stay elitist, and now is not the time for trying to be elitist. Now's the time to You know what? Yeah, let me pull out my Bible. Thank you for pulling up a Bible verse cuz I got my computer right here and I'm going to read that Bible verse. Isaiah 61 through 3. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee, and the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Exactly. Like everything is coming to light. Those who are in darkness, they're covered in darkness right now. Those who are seeking light, they're about to be shown on by light, and the Gentiles are going to come to light. Like right now, it's a transitioning. Like let's be really honest. Right now, it's a transitioning, and the unjust and the unrighteous, they are trying to keep their thrones. They're trying to keep their seats of power. They're trying to keep the industries that they had and that they built themselves upon. But God is knocking it all down right now. Like God is knocking it all down. Everything is coming down. Like change is coming. Justice is coming. Like everything is getting exposed. Everything is coming to light. Thank you, Osaro, for that Bible verse. And so everything you see with these actor strikes, with these writer strikes, with actors trying to remain silent or celebrities trying to remain silent on things, like none of it's gonna work. None of it's gonna work because it all has to come down. It's all unrighteous. It all has to come down. I was checking something on my phone and an ad popped up. Excuse me for that. But yeah, everything is coming down. Like let's be really clear. Everything is coming down. Oh, it was like a sound for like a It was one of those ad games, that you see on, like, those ads of like those Canon games where it's like the times two, times three in order to make more people and like take down a tower or something like that. I was actually just going through YouTube like real quick to check on something, and that's when the ad popped up. But funnily enough, some of my videos get ads, and then, but I don't get any money from it. So it's like there's just free money being made. I guess free AdSense being made on some of my videos, and I'm just none the wiser or none privy to it. Like I can't get a cent. At least until I get 1,000 subscribers. And what is it? 1,000 watch hours or 1,400 watch hours? It's been great catching up with you, man. I gotta go now. We'll stop by another time. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Thank you. It's good to hear from you. It's good to see you again. I'll probably just. Hmm, I got about 20 more minutes on stream myself, so I'll probably finish this quick in between. And then I'll try making time charts for. Well, I'll finish this quick frame. And then I'll try making time charts for the rest of this. Yeah, YouTube is selfish, even though we didn't get monetized ads. And full these days, 4,000 watch hours, 1,000 subs to get monetized. Like, yeah, either your content's gonna have to be top tier, or you're gonna have to like do some major cross-platform advertising for yourself in order to get that sort of viewership. I mean, because I've been streaming and my streams do really good, especially now. But like, still, I've been streaming for a while and I still only have 390 subscribers, which of course I'm thankful for. Like, God got me this far. I'm very thankful. I'm very appreciative. But at this point, I kind of just have to like pray. Like, at this point, I just gotta like pray and, maybe something will come. I think God is testing my patience right now, so let me be humble. And maybe like in a finger snap, I'll just magically get 700 more subscribers. I was supposed to give a comeback on YouTube long back. I just cannot break the loop and been stuck with part time and freelance works even now and working by side. You see, that's the thing. Like, I've been trying to break into freelance, but I just haven't been able to find clients. Like, how do you find clients, VJ? Because, any advice you can give me, I'd like. Like, do you go to local businesses or do people just come to you? Like, how do you do it? I mean, I guess I could make a Facebook post, but I mean, like, that may come with some stigma. Now, I think for this frame, what I want to do is definitely do a slow where there's probably just going to be one frame and then it's going to be a very slow ease after the midpoint. So it's going to be like a 1, 2, and then a 1, 2, 3. Or Started with fiber, of course, but then I brought one of the clients into my personal contact, then asked him to recommend my works to his friends when needed. I do videography and editing for real estate. I pitched my idea to my landlord and shot a couple sample videos and gave him. Because I have a Fiverr account and I have some gigs up there, but it's like all of my gigs got like closed because they weren't getting enough traction, which freaking sucks. What I can do on the side of this is like I might just work on some smaller projects or do some like smaller stuff. So then I can like I may just cuz I mean I already do have some short animations. I guess I could give those as samples, but maybe I can work on a few more that aren't as intricate as this on the side to give as samples because I do mainly want to I mainly want to do like freelance animation and freelance graphic design. Those are the two big things I want to do. So yeah, let me build a compilation of my animations and then work on some more graphic designs. So then I can probably sell my stuff as logos like because what I do want to do like what I actually want to do is help black business and help small businesses because small businesses they work and they do stuff like have social media, so I want to like make banners for them or design their company logos, so on and so forth, so then they can take that next step and get off the ground. Like that's something that definitely has a market, especially in the black space when there are so many black people trying to go and make their own businesses. Because I do still have some business cards left over I can sell too. Well, not sell, but like hand out. So yeah, I think what I'll do is try to find some more local black events, hand out my business cards, and sort of tell people what my plans and intentions are. And I could probably even design like a banner or something to put on my channel, a banner to put on my, like an infographic or like a digital flyer to put on my channel and to post on my like X and other social media to say, hey, helping black business, doing animations and graphic design. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I think that's a really good idea. Thank you, VJ, for that. And then afterwards, I'll just tell people to, go by word of mouth and tell other people they know about my work. Cause I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be really, really honest. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to do more. And sometimes it just ain't working. It just ain't working. Wow, 83 views. That's actually pretty cool. Pretty interesting. I never really had this many views before. Thank you guys so much for watching. I mean, well, actually, no. I did get 85 in the past. But, like, I haven't had this many numbers of, like, views before. So I am very happy and I am very thankful. Thank you all for watching. I am going to finish this frame real quick. And then I'll call the stream to an end. Ooh, 392 views. That's actually really good. Because, did I say 392 views? I meant 392 subscribers. So I went up one subscriber. Thank you all. Thank you, God, for all the subscribers I have, because I'm just so very thankful and appreciative. That's pretty good, pretty decent. And then I just have a little bit more to do. Well, then I have this in between to do. And I'll probably add an extra segment where his arms come down, or there's like a shock or realization in his eyes. I do need to in between this real quick. Because I do need to add like a mob of people who are standing around here, as well as like I'll have to animate something because the character who stands right here, his magic centers around illusions, so I'll probably add like some floating squares and circles or something. Or like maybe I'll do like a quick small animation of like an elephant. Who knows? It's all good. But anyway, I think I'm gonna call it here because there's some more chores and stuff I need to do around the house to sort of help out my mom. You know, I can't be too much of a freeloader. Anyway, I do hope you all enjoyed. This was a nice stream. This was an amazing stream. Thank you all for coming. Those of you who popped in to just take a quick look and left, that's perfectly fine too. Perfectly lovely. You know, come and go as you please. These are my sit and chill streams. So the whole idea is just coming and going, finding nice conversation, and talking about art or talking about life, or sometimes talking about the Bible. I do hope you all enjoyed. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share even, get my name out there, get my work out there, because I am working on my own original show, my own original IP, and I need as much support as possible. And thank you for the hearts. Anyway, this has been Owoh's Corner, my own little corner of art, and I'll see you guys in my next video or live stream. Bye.